Welcome to LOA Today. I'm Walt Thiessen here with Alyx King and Daniel Mangana, and this is your daily dose of happy. We are so happy you are deciding to join us today, and we're happy for multiple reasons, not the least of which is that Alyx is back, and she's got her purple hair on, she's got her smile on, she's doing better. You've been going through some rough patches there, kiddo, but
oh man, you ain't lying about that.
I mean, our listeners don't even know the half of it, but
yeah, I had to have my lung.
You've gone through so much. I mean, it's just crazy what you've gone through.
I had to have my lung redrained on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Unbelievable. Well, all I can say is that it just increases the amount of gratitude that I have for the fact that you're here today. So,
yes. Agreed.
We appreciate you being here, Alan. Yeah.
Yes, we're back.
Full force.
Full force. Well, it fits in beautifully because we were kind of chatting about before we got started today, the topic I had in mind was dealing with the day-to-day stuff, because there's a lot of day-to-day stuff going on in a lot of people's lives right now, both due to outside influences and due to inside influences. I've been really noticing it, particularly in some of the Facebook posts. People are always posting, how do I do this? How do I handle that? And so forth. But the last few days, it's all about getting through day to day, hour by hour in some cases. How do I deal with the fact that this thing is going on right now and I don't know what to do about this thing that's going on right now? So I figured it was a good time to bring it up. And as soon as I mentioned even something close to that with you guys start telling me there's stuff going on in your lives. So, okay. I think this is probably the topic of the day, Well,
that's what happens when you're living life. Stuff happens.
This is true.
A happy byproduct of living a life is
stuff's always happening.
Welcome to the contrast. Yes, it's a great thing here. We go up and down in that polarity all the time. That's good.
Yes.
I also see that Daniel's got a different t-shirt on today, different message today, and I gather that it's tied into the topic. Am I reading that right? Look at that. Oh my God, he's making it move and everything. This is crazy.
Oh yeah. Making it move. Yeah, it's been a weird couple of days. Yesterday, so with the schedule that we've got this teamwork thing that we're doing with Ethan, where I stay up with him later and then I basically start my day later. So I do my meditation all that at night with him. And then Olga basically takes over about 3 o'clock in the morning. So we move him, we use the spare room. We basically have one of the rooms each and we basically move him. So what I've done is I've kind of got the rhythm of when he has his middle of the night wake up, feed him, change him, hand him over. I then get a good 6 hours sleep. Olga gets at least a good 6 hours sleep before that. Everybody is not sleep deprived. But because I took most of December off, my schedule has been slammed this month. And there've been stuff coming on like 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, these are really tricky. But what keeps happening is I get up, I'm like, I'll do it. I do some breath work, get myself ready. And then they don't show up. The Zoom doesn't work. It's happened 2 days in a row. I've got up for no reason. I had a call this morning that I didn't even need to have, but I set it up myself to have a call with this guy 2 days ago. And then he just didn't show up and then emailed me back 3 hours later. I just got this. Are you ready to talk now? Like, dude, I got up after 4 hours sleep. I was up. Had that call with you. And then I was supposed to have a call with someone else. And for some reason, the Zoom that I had for them didn't work. They were trying to call me. It wasn't going through. I tried to call them. They didn't pick up. And it's just like, okay. Welcome to the contrast show.
Right.
It's like it's been funny. It's been funny. So it's been interesting because I'm going through the streams boot camp at the moment and finding appreciation. Okay. Thanks for the opportunity to see how to find appreciation. It's like I would have appreciated to have known yesterday that they weren't going to show up, so I could have more than 4 hours sleep. There we go. Ta-da! Surprise! It's life.
It does have that sneaky habit of doing exactly that, sneaking up on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does.
Certainly.
But then again, I think about some of the things I've been going through lately, and I then compare them to what Alyx has been going through, and I figure mine's not so bad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
this stuff is all relative, really.
Yeah, true.
Mhm.
It is.
I mean, just in the last couple of days, I was dealing with what I'm pretty sure is a kidney stone, which is like a rarity for me. I've never had
Ooh.
that. Never
Been
ever
Been
had that.
there. That's the worst.
Yeah, but I caught it pretty early and
Mhm.
looked up remedies and did the apple cider vinegar stuff and drank
Mhm.
tons of water, and it's not gone yet, but it's under control. It's not bugging me. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty mild compared to what you've been going through. I mean,
Yeah,
you've
wait till
had
you
to go.
pass it.
Yeah, I think all of us are having a walk in the park compared to Alex's adventure at the moment.
I think so too. And by the
Yeah.
way, I plan to dissolve it before it passes, so don't worry about it.
Okay, all right. I'm like, it's all gravy in the Navy now. Wait till you pass that bad, Larry.
But when when I compare it to, you've been in the hospital, you've had tubes stuck into you, they've
Yeah.
been taking large amounts of fluids out and so forth, and they're pretty gross, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, no, this is nothing in comparison.
It's
So
not as bad as it seems.
it's not. Okay.
This is my 5th time having it done. I'm realizing it's going to be an ongoing thing for a while until the medication gets sorted out. And the gross bag of liquid, I just sit there and wait for it to drain. It's not really anything
Yeah, but
bothering me on my
still,
part. Except being stabbed.
I'm not going to allow
out.
you to downplay that one, Miss Unicorn. You're not downplaying that one.
No, like I literally sit there on my phone and just wait till it's done being drained. I don't really do much.
Yeah, then you take a selfie of it and you post it, but other than that.
Well, I took that from my nurse because I didn't know how much was coming out, and he's like, no, that's 2 liters, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey guys, no, I'm really sick. Like, I'm not lying.
Yeah, like we had any doubts.
Just in case. Some people.
Whoa. Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that just adds up the amount of gratitude that I feel now, because
Yes,
you're
I
sitting
also
up, you're
feel
feeling
gratitude.
good, you're smiling, you're
Yeah.
looking a whole lot better.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't even know I was down to 1 lung. I didn't even know it.
wow. How can
Yeah.
you not know? That's amazing.
Because usually I feel like if I'm walking up the stairs or something, I'm out of breath and I can't like catch my breath, and that's what I usually feel like. But I guess I'm getting used to it because now I didn't feel any of that, and they were like, yeah, you were down to 50% capacity. You had 1 lung.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay,
amazing.
guess I gotta pay closer attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Please do.
Yes, we like doing these shows with you. We don't want them to go away. And
Oh,
we love you.
I also asked if I had, because I was scheduled in 2 more days to go get it drained anyway. And I said, what would have happened if I had waited? They were like, oh, nothing. You just would have been uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, all right. So it wouldn't have exploded. I wouldn't have died.
I don't know. There's something a little haphazard.
It's a very rare thing that's happening to me, and not a lot of people know a lot about it. So it's play it by ear situation.
So you're saying this is a case of ignorance is golden. Is that the idea?
I feel like it is.
It is. Okay. Mhm.
I kind of would love to see, some conscious awareness to this thing, because we use lungs, we use them.
Yeah.
They do stuff. And show or not, being alive is a nice thing to have.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
I'm
a little
kind of like you being alive.
Yeah.
That works for me very well.
Yes.
I agree with it.
I'd appreciate if that continued.
All right, I'll put it in the idea box.
Please,
all in favor say aye.
pop into that one.
Yeah, we definitely want you to keep going here because
You guys want to know a fun fact?
Sure.
Okay.
Did you know when you have too much trauma to your lungs that your ribs crack like your knuckles do?
No, and I could have done without that one incidentally.
If I have to know, y'all have to know.
No. There are some things that can be kept to oneself.
No, I don't keep secrets. No.
It's not a secret. It's a thing that nobody asked for. That's very, very different to a secret. Like, we didn't ask. So it's okay to keep
That's
it.
why it's a fun fact.
No, it's not fun.
Yes.
I beg to differ. I challenge your stance on this funness.
But think of it about the people who crack their knuckles just like it's nothing. And by the way, I hate that. But people who just do this all day, and that happens to your ribs, because apparently they're like knuckles.
Okay.
It's not one solid bone like we all think.
So now not only did we get too much information, but we got it again.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You got too much information with an explanation.
Too much information with
like
an
that.
explanation. You.
We're out of control today.
Well, we are out of control. I knew that was going to happen, and it was obviously very much needed. It is Thursday. Yep, it's Silly Thursday, and it's all a good thing. But I do think we should do a little bit of, serious discussion just on one point.
Okay.
That is, okay, we deal with this kind of stuff. This is kind of unusual. Most people are dealing with stuff that maybe isn't quite as challenging as this.
Yeah.
But they are dealing with stuff,
Right.
I don't
Some stuff is going down.
Stuff is going down. Yeah. And I don't want to put it down. I don't want to minimize it for somebody else before they've been able to handle it. So let's talk about some ideas about how to handle it. Because, hey, one thing that we have all learned from dealing with our own stuff is how to handle it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Facts.
So Alyx, I'm going to you first, because obviously you're the one who's been going through the most. You're the lady with the mostest. So,
Well,
so what's the deal? How do you deal with this stuff?
I take it one step at a time. I don't like to overwhelm myself with thinking too far into the future, and trying to guess or second guess what someone else who's in control of something that has to do with me is going to do. So I concentrate on what I can do in the moment.
That's pretty darn solid, if you ask me.
That's about as solid as you can get. That's now. That's like right now. And what do you do? I guess that's what I'm wondering. In the moment, while you're dealing with it, how do you deal with it?
Distraction. I like to take my mind off of things completely. So I like to laugh. So I watch my shows that I enjoy. I watch comedy specials if there's any good ones on Netflix.
Are there any good ones on Netflix?
Not right now. No. See,
Are there
the
ever?
problem is everyone gets one. So it's not even.
Yeah, but not everybody needs one.
No.
Kinda like, there are some people who are the lung knuckles, the ribcage knuckles of comedy.
Agreed.
Maybe they should be drained
Yeah.
and photographed.
You're the worst. Oh my God.
I'm not even going to try to rescue you from that one. You're going to have to do that one yourself.
Don't rescue me. It's okay. It's easy.
It's easy. All right. Well, then I'll go to you next. When you're dealing with this stuff, I mean, is that what you say? You just say it's easy?
Nope. I cry a little bit first. And then when I'm ready to wipe my tears, I just laugh, because at the end of the day, none of us are getting out of this thing called life anyway. Worst that can happen is it's game over. The worst that can happen.
Facts.
And by that point, you're not really going to be aware of anything that happens anyway. So the worst that can happen is you get to the point where you're not even going to remember any of it's happened, and it's not going to be relevant to you anyway. So,
well, actually, if what the stream tells us is true, this is the equivalent of a weekend vacation. So the weekend will be over.
Oh,
here's the thing.
Mondays.
So I personally, I always like, I believe, but I don't know. And so as long as I don't know, I'm going to operate on the basis that may or may not be true. And I say to myself, what am I prepared to accept in the face of this maybe or maybe not being true?
Okay.
Okay.
And what do you answer yourself?
What feels good does no harm. What can I handle or not handle? Where do I go from here? Core questions. Because when you're in the midst of a flip out, I don't think we're really considering, in the midst of this flip out, let me take a pause and wonder, this weekend vacation, we're not probably doing that. We're probably not considering quantum mechanics and interdimensional. Probably not. I don't know. I don't know about the rest of the humans in the audience, but that's not what I'm thinking about. And I don't, yeah. Maybe when you come down a little bit, look at that. Cheeky contrast. Nothing like a bit of polarity to end the weekend. Like, we're probably, it's like, let's be realistic. Generally, when you're in the midst of it, you're kind of in the midst of it. So I do my best to resource myself in advance so that the downtime that happens in the midst of that isn't that long. Because the likelihood that I'm going to stop all of it is really, really low. But I can minimize the downtime through how I resource myself going through life in general.
That's good. Yeah. And I think that is, well, it's not just the goal. I think it's what happens when you've done so much prior work on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
that's
continue
just,
to do work on
across-
oneself.
And continue to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I have to do a shout out to Deborah, who wrote in because she had been listening to me going on and on for the last few weeks about the importance of the mirror exercises that I like to do. And she said she tried them for 2 days and was blown away at how much improvement it gave her.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Way to go, Deborah. Yeah.
Wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful,
good to hear.
wonderful.
Yeah. Because, well, it's true. I mean, what that also tells me is that when she went to do it, she didn't do it kind of the way I did it when I first started out. She just threw herself into it. You know, my first time, it was like, oh God, do I really have to do it? And I had to talk myself into doing it for 5 seconds. In her case, I think she just went in and did it for like 5 minutes and boom, got a big result out of it. So I want to give her a big pat on the back for that, because good on her. I mean, doing it the first day and getting a big result, or the first 2 days, that's really big stuff. So well done, Deborah. Keep up the good work. Do not stop, like Daniel just said. Don't keep going.
Don't stop.
Never
Do
stop,
it.
not stopping.
Do it, Deborah, do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Somebody knows what song that came from.
I have
And
no
they
idea.
should wash their ears out with soap. You know what
That'll
song
save
it
me a trip.
is. Alyx knows what song it is.
She's not
Yeah.
saying though.
No. She's rescuing you from having to wash your ears out with soap. Well, that's
Okay.
love.
Well, I appreciate the love, although I also feel absolutely no remorse at all about not knowing what the song is. So
Don't worry about the remorse. You leave it out.
I mean, this is a moment where I'm actually thinking about the quantum mechanics of the thing. I'm just saying.
My dude.
So, okay, well, we got a couple of ideas there about how you deal with stuff.
Mhm.
I think there's one other thing, though, that we could kind of point to a little bit more. What we gave a little bit of gratitude, for instance, right after Alyx told her story, and we were expressing the fact that we were grateful that she's back here on the show and that she's feeling better and she's living again. But I want to play up that theme a little bit more because, I mean, Daniel, I think you've mentioned this a few times on prior shows. If you want to climb out of something, gratitude is like one of the first things to start with, right?
Yeah, and often the hardest place to start also.
I didn't say it was easy. I just said it was a place to start.
Oh, the contrast is here. Let me reach for my gratitude list. Probably not what's going on for many people. But again, this is where resourcing yourself in advance comes in, or at least reducing the downtime so that you can come up for air, the air of gratitude faster. So
I got a private message from somebody who was asking for help, and she said that she was having trouble finding anything to feel positive about. Couldn't think of anything, and if she thought of something, she couldn't get there. And so I literally suggested to her, can you make a list, even a short list, written down on paper of things that have made you feel good in the past? And I haven't heard back from her, so I'm presuming she's either not seen the list or ignoring me entirely or just hasn't gotten to it yet. But that is one of the best ways you can prep. And also it's one of the best ways to climb out at the same time, because it does kind of force you to think about, okay, yeah, I feel like crap right now, but I do recall there were times, I can at least think of maybe one,
Yeah, way
where I
back
did feel good.
1999.
Yeah.
way back,
Yeah.
back into time.
It was a while back, maybe, but I can remember it. And if I can remember it, I can write it down. Now, the harder part, the bigger challenge at that point is, can I remember what it felt like?
Yeah.
That's more of a leap for some people sometimes. But there is one good thing. You did feel it in the past. So you got a shot.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put your mind to it.
It's like muscle memory. It's in there somewhere.
And it's, again, that's where the resourcing comes in, being ready for game day. not showing up to the Super Bowl without even knowing what a quarterback is. No, it's like I've been doing my drills. I'm doing my drills and I've been keeping my muscles limber. I may not be hot enough to win, but I'm not going to be so cold that I embarrass myself with the caliber of loss that I experience resourcing yourself.
Yeah, that resourcing does play a big role. I mean, actually, you mentioned the Super Bowl. Pro athletes, many of them do exactly that mentally, leading up to their sporting events. They go through a preparatory process of just getting their minds into that best place of believing, yeah, I'm going to win. I'm going to do well. I'm going to perform beyond my peak. I'm going to do all this wonderful stuff. And I get excited. I'm going to get juiced and so forth. By the time they get out in the field, it's like, slow them down. Oh my God, they're loaded. Well, that's the prep work. The prep work really does pay off.
My brother always says, stay ready so you don't have to get ready physically and mentally.
Ooh.
Nice. I like that.
Words of a king.
Yeah.
Literally.
That was the joke. That was the joke.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm trying to figure out where to go with it. But does he have any particular pieces of advice about how to accomplish that wonderful goal?
Well, mainly it comes from, because he's a personal trainer. So
Okay.
he mainly comes from that, but also mentally, he's also heavy into law of attraction. So he's always about, staying about your business, minding your business so you can keep track of your own stuff, as opposed to minding other people's business, because that keeps you too busy to focus on your own stuff.
Well, there's a breakthrough concept right there. I mean, seriously, I am thinking of a number of different cases, people I interacted with who were going out of their way to mind somebody else's business and then wondering why things were going south. Like, at some point you'd think they'd notice.
Well, no, they can't, because they're too busy minding your business.
I guess, yeah. But I don't know. Well, they notice that things are going south. I give them credit for that.
They notice things are going south for them because they notice things are going great for you because they're minding your business.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
It's a double business, Chandra. brain thing. It made sense to me, listeners. And if it doesn't make sense to you, that's your problem, because I'm busy minding my own business and how ludicrous I sound. So worry about your own bad jokes. I'm a dad now. I get licensed to make bad jokes.
Absolutely.
Description.
Absolutely. Hey, I was never a dad, and I'm old enough to be one, so I figure I qualify. Why not?
You're a cat dad, though.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. You're a fur
cat dads count.
Yes, they do. In fact, this one's counting right here in my lap. Okay. Well, we know the importance of preparation. We understand that it needs to be done. Hopefully, some of us who hadn't been doing some prep work are doing the prep work now, saying, okay, well, I'm listening to this, I'm going to start doing some prep work. Let's talk about the kinds of prep work you can do. Like, I know for myself, you mentioned lists, Stan. I already have a list, and I add to it periodically, a list of things that I know that I can do that just pick me right up. And I had to actually access that list this week a few times. And near the top of my list is always my favorite positive music list, things that make me feel good when I listen to them. And I was doing a lot of listening this week, a lot of listening. But that's one of my ways to get myself prepped. What are some of the ways you like to get prepped? Alex, do you have anything that you do in advance to kind of get yourself ready for, especially when you had a lot of practical experience to deal with this past week, 2 weeks, something like that? Did you have any prep work you've done leading up to that helped?
You know what? Negativity helps, apparently.
What?
Okay.
What?
I'm usually like, you guys know me. So usually when I have to go do something, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Pineapples, I'm not ready. Yeah. And then I get there and I'm like, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Ah.
So negativity works for
drawing out the sting.
Yeah.
It's novel. It's very Alyx-like. Yes.
It's what works for Alyx's around the world.
That's right.
All around the night. Use my negativity. That's what I'm gonna do to get out my funk. And you can do it
It's
too.
just you have to be able to take your negativity and flip it into a positive. You can't just stay negative though.
Flip it like a pancake.
Ah.
Yeah.
So there's a technique to this
Yeah.
negativity
Method to my
approach.
madness.
What happens if you don't do it though? I mean, that sounds like it's going to be
Well,
pretty
then you're
bad
just
if you
gonna
don't do it.
for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
sound so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that you do the flip?
I have
that
to
something that you
overtype
can
it
do?
in my head.
Can you make sure
whatever
that
is
you
happening is going to be the worst thing possible. And then once it's done, it's like, oh, it's like when you go get your flu shot. You're like, oh my god, it's gonna suck, and then it's a little sting, and then you're like, oh, okay.
I've never had a flu shot.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm sure you had blood drawn at some point in your life.
No, I wanted to make reference to the fact that I've never had a flu shot. I felt quite left
Oh
out.
yeah,
That was the time for you to be compassionate, Alyx. That was the time for you to be compassionate, Alyx.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I don't have room for compassion today.
Okay. For those of you who didn't see the disdain in my eyes and the pain in my soul, it's because you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch us live. And this is a great time for you to learn all about that. And my illustrious co-hosts are going to share with you just how you can do so.
Oh, nicely done. Really nicely done.
I like that. That was great.
Yeah.
Well, my segues have been failing epically, and it was really doing no wonders for my self-esteem.
Well, that one you hit that one out of the park. That was beautiful. So, Alyx, why don't you tell people how to do it?
You go to YouTube, search LOA Today podcast videos, and once you see our smiling faces, click down below to the red subscribe button. Next to the red subscribe button, there's a little silver bell. Make sure you click all so you will always be notified when you're live.
And now you know how to go see it, which is the best thing to do.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff.
And how can they find us on the app, Walt?
Oh, now there's an idea. Actually download the app and listen to the show, as it gets published.
Dum, dum, dum.
In fact, how about let's add in an extra benefit. Not only can you listen to the podcast, you can also send in a question for the next podcast with the same app. I mean, you can't ask for more than this. And it's so simple. Just go to your favorite app store or Play Store, depending on what kind of device you got, and look for LOA Today. I mean, how hard is that? It's spelled LOA Today. I mean, this is simple. Download, run it, play it, and it's all right there. Plus, it's got a few little goodies in there, including a couple that our friend Daniel donated. One called The Money Game, another one called Beyond Intention, and they're hot stuff. By the way, I don't know if I think I told you last week, Daniel, but I'm 1/3 of the way through The Money Game. So just saying that is ongoing.
Woo, woo.
Go get them. And I had a wonderful, wonderful email from Jim. If you're listening, Jim, shout you out. Sharing a bit of his experiences he's been having with The Money Game. He's moving into the second phase and he's up $13,000, I think.
Woo!
Woo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Way to go, Jim.
There's a cows in there now. That's what's up.
Get it. Yeah, we get some really, really great stuff. I'm working on got a couple of things I need to knock out first, but we're going to be the challenge that I do. That I've done a couple of times for The Money Game. We're looking to put that into something that people can do anytime without needing to wait for a live challenge. So that's something for the listeners to keep an ear out for.
Beautiful. And of course, the way to find out when that actually happens will be to be a part of the group, isn't it?
My Facebook group, and if you're not a Facebook group, you can be on the email list. You can go and find out how to be a harmonious money magnet at dreamwithdan.com/HMM, and that will mean that whenever we're popping out anything, that you can go ahead and do that, or you can join. I've got my my daily Telegram feed where I share a little nugget every day. Do it with Dan Daily. That's dreamwithdan.com/Telegram. No, /daily. dreamwithdan.com/daily. It will take you to my Telegram thing, which is pretty cool. But yeah, when that is live, we'll definitely make sure that you guys can find out all about it and you can share it with your friends and start manifesting some moolahs.
Yeah.
Some moolah.
And people have had some pretty remarkable results in that group. I mean, like, blow your socks off kinds of results.
Yeah. The record that's been quoted is 75,000 Aussie dollars in 2 days. Before that, it was 27,000 pounds in 2 days, 50,000 we've had in like a couple of weeks. We've had some really
big stuff.
really big ones.
Yeah. Actually, though, as impressive as those are, I think the ones that are more impressive are the ones where the person feels like they're not getting anywhere. Nothing's happening, and nothing's happening.
Who might that be?
Oh God, lots of people.
Someone
I saw a dozen of them in the last week.
Someone who has wins thinks they're not having any wins and then realizes that they've been having.
Well, okay, yeah, there is that too. I have to admit. You do have to learn to pay attention, and that's what I have been learning to do. Yes, okay, that's me. Hand up. I got it. Yep.
Me, I'm Walt.
But yeah, I actually wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking about the fact that I saw literally a Facebook post on this yesterday. Somebody complaining, well, how do you know that I want to become a millionaire and it hasn't yet happened yet? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? I see that post all the time. Dan, you probably see it more than I do.
Yeah, and the likelihood it's not going to happen for that person. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just increasing really fast just because they're posting that over and over.
Yeah, they just keep hammering home how disassociated they are from what they want to create and then wonder why it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's like, I wrote it down. It's in my mind movie. It's in my vision board. Where are my billions? They're still in the field of possibilities that you just cut yourself off from accessing. They're in the box that you just locked with your attitude. Like, oh, where are my millions? Oh no, they're in the box again. It's like
you make it sound like a penalty box. I love it.
It's a self-imposed penalty box.
It is.
Well, funny, there's something one of my personal coaches actually said. I can't remember how long ago he said it, but it really hit home to me today, and I've really been ruminating on it today. That money is not a cause, it's an effect.
Yes.
Money is not a cause, it's an effect. And when that really settles in, you'll realize that it's not the thing, it's the thing that results from the things. So then when we start to layer in the stuff I do with alignment, it's asking yourself, which causes do I resonate with? Because there is always a cause, because the universe works on cause and effect. So if I'm just sitting around on Facebook complaining that my millions haven't shown up yet, I haven't actually been the causation or instigated any causes that lead to the effect that I desire.
Right.
Even if I desire to spontaneously win money on the lottery, I still have to initiate the cause of buying a lottery ticket. There's still an exchange of energy that facilitates the effect of winning the money. So for most people, they don't believe they're going to win the lottery. They may think they believe they do, they will, but they won't. Put it in context. There's a higher probability of a comet hitting the earth than the probability of you winning the lottery, statistically speaking.
Right.
So most people aren't operating on that as a statement of fact internally. Otherwise, they would have better luck across the board. So generally speaking, we're going to be looking at a more direct exchange of energy to facilitate wealth and abundance coming to us. That will be the cause, the effect will be the money. But people don't do anything about the cause, just meditate, fill up their vortex, but don't actually do the cause and effect aspect, which translates that vortex experience into a physical three-dimensional experience.
Well, is it that they don't do it, or is it they do it for 5 minutes and then they reverse it?
I mean,
isn't it both?
Well, like, cause is I punch myself in the face. The effect is my face is hurted, right?
Yeah.
The cause is actually done in the completion of the act. If I've done it for 5 minutes, I haven't completed the cause that leads to the effect. Therefore, I haven't done it.
Got it. Yeah.
You don't half bake anything. You bake it or you don't. If I take my cake out halfway through, so it's been in the oven for 5 minutes. Well, the recipe calls for it to be there for 35 minutes, 180 degrees centigrade. You haven't baked it yet. It's not baked. Sorry to be the harbinger of truth, but it's not baked yet. So it's like people that meditate for 5 minutes. It's like 5 minutes a day for a week. Why isn't my abundance here yet? The really funny thing about all of this that underpins all of this, though, hilariously, is that we actually decide the rules of cause and effect at an unconscious level too.
Now that's really hitting below the belt. I mean, how annoying is that?
It's like it's cause and effect, and you're the one that actually decides the cause and effect because your experience of physical reality is filtered by your belief systems about physical reality. So the person who does it for 5 minutes and nothing happens yet is because you haven't met your own standard of how long you should be doing it for in order to create the outcome.
Yeah.
There's the noodle.
Mm.
Consider it baked.
Well, plus also when you were talking about the buying of the lottery ticket, the person who's trying to do it by winning the lottery, I was instantly just imagining this same person going to the counter of the convenience store or whatever it is to buy the ticket. And as they're buying the ticket, well, as they're walking up, they're trying to convince themselves and they're believing. And they get there and they're handing the money over. And the whole thing just is right there. It's just falling apart right there on the counter. That's what I was imagining. It was just somebody who, they thought they talked themselves into it, and not so much.
It's cray.
Mm-hmm.
How about in other areas, though? Because money is only one thing that people like to attract. And I'll go back to the one we talked about earlier, because I think this is actually the most important thing, and that's health. I mean, Alex, you know firsthand lately how important the health has been. Or when you're not experiencing your top health. I mean, you can't do anything without health. You got to have health in order to have the abundance of money or the abundance of relationships or the abundance of careers or whatever else. I mean, without the health, forget it. You're not doing very good.
Yeah.
It's like, so let's talk about abundance of health. What are some of the tidbits, little ideas we can give about doing that? Prep work, I imagine, goes into Daniel's day on that.
I don't know about prep work, but this is a major area for me where gratitude comes into play. Because you sit there and it's like, okay, I couldn't breathe yesterday, but today I can.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that. So
yeah, it really comes home, doesn't it?
Being able to,
Yeah.
And the pain, thinking, okay, I'm not in the pain that I was in yesterday, and I'm grateful for that too. So it's like it's you get a new lease on life, and you start to appreciate every little thing.
It's real at that point. It is totally real at that point.
The trick is trying to remember that when you're going through the pain again. You know what I mean? You got to remember, okay, I was grateful for when I could breathe. Let's try to get that feeling back.
You're right, though. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Where is the breath? Ah.
Yeah,
that is the challenge.
I think that's the thing about being both being in a conducive space to create, and also the whole thing about setting yourself up for the win.
Right.
So being in fight or flight, having survival mode, you're just not gonna have the glycogen stores available to make the switch. Everything's I must stay alive. I must deal with the survival. So you're not in a space there to be, let's think about gratitude and being up. And I think this very real spit and sawdust in the trenches thing about spirituality, consciousness, and all this great stuff being applied in real life is, am I resourced to apply it in the face of the stuff?
Yeah.
Right. I remember the very first time that I rolled with jiu-jitsu. Rolling with jiu-jitsu is a very polite way of saying when people beat each other up without actually punching, you just try and choke each other out when you're doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I'd been working with my old coach, who's like one of the top people in the UK. I worked with him privately for months. So I didn't go to group classes. I was just doing private classes with this guy a few times a week. I remember the first time I went to a class and I actually had to do the rolling with someone other than my coach, who was basically kind of taking it easy on me. He's like a however many degree black belt. He's got 7 black belts in 7 different martial arts, English champion, world champion. So he gives me a lot of chance, he's encouraging and blah, blah, blah. The first time that I had to actually roll with the person who was trying to kill me, right? It was like, I couldn't breathe. My chest stopped working. I'm like this. Because we have to be ready to be in the trenches. And I think when it comes to this consciousness, spirituality, even being happy, it's remembering that at the end of the day, we're going to be applying this in the real world, where we may have holographic reflections of ourselves shining back at ourselves that are trying to kill us and choke us out. And if we're not ready to deal with that, then we're gonna choke.
And yet you had done a lot of preparation and you still weren't ready enough.
No, I hadn't done preparation. I knew
you hadn't done any preparation.
I knew the theory. I knew these really fancy things you could do. So, oh, and then you spin it this way and you spin it that way. But being on the mat, actually being on the mat, again, cause and effect, being on the mat with people where it's actually being tested is how you learn to do it, right? It's like you can learn the theories of mathematics unless you actually do equations and do them under the pressure of an examination or with a time. I know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. No, you don't know. You have an idea about what it is, but it hasn't been applied in the real world. And I think when we come to remember that we are actually in the real world, where
is that what this place is? Oh my
we
God.
don't have the conscious capacity to have our finger on the button of every single strand of consciousness that's around us, and how the shadows of our unconscious are going to be reflecting through the manifestation that we witness in these people. Like, we need to be ready to be in the trenches. And this is not me being the whoa, no, that's life. That's the contrast. That's the polarity, that we have all of these things happening. Am I resourced to navigate these with grace and ease? I'm not going to be resourced unless I get resourced. And that resourcing must stand up to the test of examination. And that examination is real life, everyday life.
So let's go back to the resourcing, because that's clearly, I mean, that you go back to that every single time, and you've made a very good case for why you need to go back to it. So, well, I can't breathe, help me. So, okay, let's go through resourcing. What do you do to resource?
Alyx.
Why?
He gives us this big setup and then he dishes it off to Alyx. I mean,
Right?
Are you resourced or not, Alyx? What's up? You resourced or not, Mamacita? Huh?
I am and I'm not. But I'm not. I'm half baked. That's what I am.
half-baked.
Oh, God.
You sound like half the people on Facebook.
The billions of those. No, but honestly, I mean, first and foremost, I think one of the most powerful ways to step into being resourced is to recognize the fact that we're never going to be 100% resource, because we're not perfect, we're human. So compassion and patience with ourselves as we do our best to navigate this stuff.
I love it. Yeah, because who's harder on us than us? I mean, really, let's be honest.
You ain't said nothing but a word. Did that sound American? I've been practicing.
Yes, it did.
That was pretty good, yeah.
Yippah!
He was resourcing, actually.
Are you resourcing for Coming to America?
Oh yeah, that when does that come out?
I think they just started shooting.
No, they're going to be releasing it. They've already given $150 million for it.
No.
There are trailers and everything.
No, they're still shooting.
Are they still shooting it?
Yeah.
I've seen trailers.
Yeah, just because they can have
The old men in the barber shop was still there. They should be passed away now. It's been 30 years.
Dude, I don't know the details. I just know I heard they were still shooting because I saw the article where they were shooting next to another movie with someone else who was famous. I believe it was Will Smith, and they all got together on set and took pictures and stuff. And that was like 2 weeks ago. So
I want to understand how
no one's
this
age.
is a very no. What happened with Lisa? Like, she defied everything. He defied his parents. She came, and then he's not with Lisa anymore, and he's got a love child. I thought everything went wrong, and he was a good boy.
Spoilers.
This is what the whole thing of the thing is. The whole thing
I
is
haven't seen one trailer, so
no,
spoilers.
not the trailer. This is the whole premise of the movie. Is that he has to go.
Now
and
I know. Thank you. It's cool. It's cool. I would have found out anyway.
Anyway, as we were saying about resourcing, why don't you?
By the way, we
continue
just
it?
broke the show record for how quickly we can tangent. I mean, just incredible. How fast that was.
For the record, we are talking about Coming to America 2, which is like there's like a 30-year gap or something between the first and second one. So
More than that, it was 1985.
what? Really?
It was 1985 or something.
It was a while ago.
He had a date with Lisa in 1985. I'm pretty sure of it.
It had to be 85. No.
1988.
Really?
1988.
Still, that's a strong time ago.
Yeah, that's 33 years.
Yeah. That's a whole brother and sister ago. My brother and sister are 33.
I made a movie, brother and sister ago. Do, 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 do.
They're Irish twins, so they're both 33.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do we try to get back? I mean, I don't want to interrupt what we're doing here. No, we got about 14 minutes left. We got time.
I
Okay.
apologize for my part in that tangent, but I really did think that the dance really worked.
It brought it all together. I agree.
Yeah, it brought it together so well. I don't even know where to go back to. I mean, this is par for the course, of course, but
It's Thursday.
it's Thursday. Yeah.
You knew?
Oh, not really, but
Oh.
resourcing. We got to go back to resourcing. That's what we were
Okay.
trying to get away from, but we got to get back to it because that's what tends to happen, right? You know, you're supposed to do the resourcing before the thing happens, and then you forget to do the resourcing, and the thing happens. Oh God, I don't know what to do. So we got to have the resourcing. So
Well, that's
How
when
do
you
you resource?
realize that you knew the theory. You didn't actually apply.
exactly, yeah. So you know, we're going to assume that we learned from our mistake, and we're going to actually resource this time. So tell me about some resourcing, Alyx. I mean, Daniel's obviously staying quiet on this, so I'll go to you.
I've not been. I said my bit.
No,
I
no,
thought
you
I
said your bit
had.
about how important it is to resource, but when I tried to get you to actually tell us about
No, I
what
did.
you
I said to
resourced-
start with loving compassion and the.
Oh
thing.
yes, you did say that. You're right. Okay,
Okay, because I was like, was that in his head?
Give
Because
you-
I wasn't here.
give you credit for that one. You're right. You're right. And I hope you'll be compassionate about the fact that I forgot that you said that.
Burn.
Yeah, it hurt. But anyway, so compassion, okay. So developing that self-compassion, especially because that's really what you're talking about there, being careful about how you treat yourself.
Mhm.
What else can we do to resource to get ourselves ready for the crap that happens in life?
I don't know, Walt, but what can we do?
She just passed the buck right over.
Oh, geez, right back in my face. Okay. Well, I just go over to my list. I mean, my first thing on my list is mirror exercises. I do those every single day. Second thing
Now,
on my
do you
list,
use your mirror exercises throughout the day? Like, do you find yourself
sometimes
applying them?
it depends. It
Mhm.
depends. If I find that I'm going down the spiral, yeah,
Yeah.
as fast as possible. If I can't find a mirror, I pull out the phone. If I can't find the phone, I pretend I'm looking in the mirror. I mean, literally, I will do whatever it takes if I'm going down that spiral to
Okay.
go back to doing the mirror exercise.
Resourcing 101, doing whatever it takes. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up?
Yeah, that's a big one. But that's why I also have the list on the wall. I mean, number 4 on the list, listen to positive music. I've been doing that one a lot this week.
What's
Number
your
5 on
What's
the
your
list,
happy song this week?
Ooh, good question.
I've been listening to a lot of
Or
stuff.
a
I've
happy
been
song.
listening to a
What's
lot
a
of
happy song?
classical music lately. So not so much. I can't really give you a song name, like Symphony in D and that kind of thing. I couldn't even tell you what they were because I wasn't paying any attention to the names. I was just sitting back and grooving on that nice, mellow, quiet sound in the background to kind of offset some of the sounds that were coming from the living room.
Who's
Yeah.
your
So
happy artist.
I'm sorry.
Your happy artist.
My happy artist. Oh, it depends on what the day is and what kind of mood I'm in, but there's a lot of them for me.
All
I mean,
right.
for me, they're all older artists, and none of them are contemporary. Well, that's not true. That's not entirely true. The song "Happy," I will include that on my positive list, and that's usually near the top of the list. So
Mhm.
that's the most modern thing that I've got. But that's like 10 years old or something. So that's
What, Pharrell Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, 6 or 7
About
years.
that.
Yeah.
6 or 7. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, it's not new is what I'm saying.
It's not new, but
Yeah.
for you.
But most of the stuff on my list is like, 30, 40 years old. So,
Yeah,
it's a little out of date, just to say.
Most of the stuff on your list is still coming to America.
Yes. The stuff I listened to was already in America, but it died a very slow death a long time ago. So,
Oh, fabulous. No, but honestly, do you know what? I'm gonna put a little thing in the cake before it finishes baking. Ultimately,
wink, nudge, nudge.
ultimately, there is no singular way to resource yourself because everybody is coming with different challenges, with different past experiences, with different belief systems, different narratives, different stuff. So we're all going to be creating our own path to being resourced. Ultimately, it's every day asking yourself, how can I expand and grow as much as I can today? How can I strengthen my mental, my emotional and spiritual resilience today? And if we keep doing that, that's the best that we can do. We can't map for every potential eventuality.
Right.
We can't, because at this level of consciousness, we just can't see enough of it. We don't have that processing power. But what we can do is keep growing, keep getting stronger, keep doing our best, and keep remembering that at the end of the day, none of us are getting out of this thing alive anyway. So just have some fun.
Agreed.
That's good.
Even if you are getting choked out on a jiu-jitsu mat.
But you're right. And I think to kind of expand on that one more a little bit, the more that we do this work, I'm calling this doing work on yourself, although it doesn't actually have to be all that hard to do. But the more that we do this work, the more we're actually getting ourselves mentally into a place of focusing on the stuff that we like, that feels good, that energizes, that drives us, that is our passion, whatever ways that we want to dress it up. It's the stuff that we like. And when we do that, then this is what I find anyway, whenever I do kind of start falling down that spiral, it's a lot easier to find that resource list. It's a lot easier to climb out. It's a lot easier to stop and say, yeah, I'm not going to let this thing bother me anymore. I'm done with it. But if you haven't been doing all of that work, then when it does happen, it happens for like 6 months to a year. And that's the difference. You've been doing the work. I mean, a big part of what I've been exploring lately, as I've been preparing my my prepared speech to give to college students that I've been working on, is I'm realizing I want to orient it around the concept of the RAS or the ARAS, depending on how you want to describe it, the part of the brain where all the filtering goes on, right?
The reticular activating system.
Reticular activating system, absolutely. And
well, thank you for those of us who did not know what you were talking about.
I write about it in my book. That's why I know about it, because I did a lot of research into it. So I didn't like a butthole misquoting it.
It just doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, it's like it's just a little cord, so to speak, of neurons that go up through from your spine up into your brain. It's about the width of a pinky finger.
Okay.
And I don't know if you knew this one, Daniel. Did you know that 4 out of the 5 senses get filtered through that one? The 5th one does not.
Which one doesn't?
Smell. Smell goes directly into the emotional centers of the brain. It bypasses the ARAS.
Wow.
That's why I love sniffing Ethan so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Any kind of smell. If you want to get yourself there, by the way, if you have enough presence of mind when you're in that downward spiral to think about smell, find a smell you like. You'll climb out real fast.
That's why people use essential oils.
Exactly. Yeah. It bypasses
more science
the
for the essential oils. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's effective. It's really effective.
My world is that much bigger today. Thank you very much,
There you
Mr.
go.
Walt.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Wonderful.
But that ARAS is to my mind, it's the way of understanding the importance of the resourcing that you're talking about the easiest. Because our conscious minds receive information to work with through that ARAS. And the only thing that gets through is the stuff that we pre-program.
Yeah.
And we pre-program it by giving attention to it.
Yeah.
So, drum roll, please. All you got to do is give more attention to the stuff you like, and it's what comes through when you need it.
Wow, where have I heard that theme before?
Probably because you're a co-host on the show.
Bingo, there it is.
That's what it is.
Oh yeah.
But I know we're making a joke out of it. I really don't want to minimize it. It is the most important idea as far as I'm concerned. If you want a resource, work on your positives, work on the things that feel good. Just do them as often as you can. Because when you do, things get better. And not only do things get better, when things go bad, they still get better faster.
You curate a conducive space within which to create.
Ooh,
I like that.
write that one down.
I say that one all the time about a conducive space to create, isn't that?
Yeah,
Have I
but
never used that?
Your
Dan, isn't
timing
he?
was great on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. That one had a little extra sparkle on it.
It did, yeah.
Maybe it's that unicorn in the room.
Maybe.
Yeah. She sparkled a little extra dust today. That's what it was.
I try to sparkle a little bit every day.
Yeah.
They're laughing at the thing that I did on camera. And if you haven't followed the instruction yet to follow us on YouTube, then that's why you haven't seen that yet. Bye.
So there's a second segue. Go subscribe now if you haven't done it yet. Now's the time to do it. Little bell, click,
Teamwork.
subscribe. Yeah. Okay. So we did a little bit about resourcing, and I'm glad we did. I want to do more of that going forward because I think the resourcing is what we really need the most. I think we'll put it this way: if more people knew about resourcing, there'd be a lot fewer Facebook posts.
You know what's so funny? I've been like missing from social media, although it looks like I'm everywhere. I have a team that goes everywhere for me, but it's like I don't have the energy. You're a better man than me, Walt. I can't go into those groups.
Actually, I shut myself
saved
out
my
of
life by giving me a place to complain about it.
I'm too nosy not to be on Facebook. That's my whole thing.
Nah, anybody got time for that?
This one right here. I have time.
We literally got Anna a phone, so I don't even have to now do my own DMs on Instagram.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I don't even have to reply to DMs now on Instagram.
Nice.
I don't even pay attention to them. I don't even think I have them set to go off when I get them.
I tried that, but it was still killing me. So now, and I'm going to be going deeper with it as well, just outsourcing.
Oh wow. Yes.
Well,
I get random thoughts. I do still use Twitter personally. We do. Alfredo makes sure that it's got content, like we share the blogs and everything on there, so that there's always stuff popping. But I still do find interesting things to randomly say in the middle of the night. So I tweet sometimes. So I'm still accessible firsthand on Twitter-ish, but the others, forget about it. FB Messenger. Good luck, mate. Good luck.
Well, I'll give you one clue. I mean, this is like my approach to resourcing when it comes to the social media. I make it sound like I'm spending a lot of time there. Literally, everything I just told you about came 5 minutes before I hooked in to the Zoom call today, just so I can see if there's any clues that we could use for today's show. Yeah, it's pretty rare for me to be on there very long. Yeah.
Me, I'm just sitting in my hospital bed going, who can I help today? Whose problems and relationships can I solve today?
And you're so good at it too.
You are magical.
No doubt about it. Well, I do have to summarize by saying, first of all, Alex, I'm really glad that you're back. And I know Daniel is too.
Thank you.
So please stay healthy, okay?
I'm trying.
I mean, we need you.
I'm trying.
Do it.
All right.
It's not the same show without you. I mean, plus, like Daniel said, you not in our lives, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me either, honestly.
All right. So we're in agreement. This is good. Okay.
We're all on the same page.
All right. So now that we got that all straightened out, say thank you very much, and we'll see you all next time here on LOA Today. Goodbye, everybody.